All right, YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to mount a Kirkey seat to a floor structure. As you see, we don't have any of the floor in here right now. We just have the structure that's under here. I've already mounted the driver's seat. I'm going to show you guys that, and then I'll show you guys how to do it to the passenger side. So right there, we have it at 90 degrees. So what I'll do is I'll more than likely go ahead and tack this in there after I clean up the bar, because pretty much what I'm doing is I'm gonna get this straight in line with each other. So the other one, just like this, I'll make it the same size, and then so right now we're just gonna clean this up, clean up the tube, and then go from there. So right here I have 20 inches, and then over here it is also 20 inches. It's just gonna be up a little bit due to the actual nut insert. So the passenger side will probably be up by, I'll say, an eighth. Actually, no, a quarter. Because at the top of that, it measures 20 and a quarter, while this measures just 20. So we're going to clean the bar off. We're going to clean that side off, and then we're going to go ahead and get that tacked on there real good. All right, YouTube. So the measurement from the one that we already put in there, from that 1 5/8 bar up, is 3 3/4. But the bar that runs across to the frame, like sideways to the frame, is like 2 degrees off. So I'm gonna go, because I also have to count for this. So I'm gonna go a quarter off. So I'll go 3 1/2 on that outside one. No, I'll go up a quarter. So I'll go 4 inches on this one. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go 4 inches on this one. And I've already changed the hole saw. So what I like to do is I like to keep the arbors with them, so I don't have to keep screwing them off and screwing them on. That one has its own arbor also, and this one has its own arbor. So as you can see, how one side is lower than the other, so you have to do some cleanup. But we have that there to do our cleanup. So as you can see, one side is still higher than the other, so I still have to grind it down a little bit more, but that's pretty much good. All right, so as you can see there, I believe on this side it still has more material than the other side, So I have to clean it up. All right, YouTube, as you can see, we have it on there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and bolt this to the chair and put the other side on, and then I'll make the measurement under the chair to decide where it's going to be. As you see, we have it there. So the next thing we're going to have to do is get this side tacked on so I can get the right angle. And then I can mark the bottom of the seat to see the hole I have to drill. And I know you guys are kind of like, why am I drilling holes, a lot of holes in this seat? I'm not really worried about it. Can't even see them when the cover's on. There's no sense in me buying two seats. I have I wouldn't say a long way for the car to be done, but I got a good ways for the car to be done. So there's no reason to buy another seat. So I'm just using the holes I already had from the Henderson brackets. And I'm just gonna go ahead and tack this on there. I'm gonna get this to the same where it's laying flat on both of these. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and tack this on, and that'll be it. And I mean, if I wanted to, I could push this out further this way. But kind of wanted to be at least like right here. Not too much space on the side like the other seats were. So it'll be something like this here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and get this side tacked in. After I clean up the tube, I'm gonna tack it in. So what I did was went on the other side and I measured how far from the frame was the seat mount, and it was about 3 inches. So I'm gonna make this one also about 3 inches from the frame, and then I'm gonna tilt it 85 degrees like this one is. And then we're gonna tack that in. Oh, got the seat in there. We'll go ahead and bolt it down. I actually have to go pick up some of the bolts that I dropped. All right, YouTube. So as you can see, we have this side in there. It's pretty much in line with the driver's seat. Because like I said, mostly it'll be my wife that'll be riding in the car with me if she does. I just wanted to make sure I had two seats in it. Because as you guys know, I kind of want to do drag and drive with this car. So that'll give her opportunity to ride in the car with me. So what I'm going to do now is I need to go up under the car and I need to go ahead and mark out that hole. And something else you guys might say is, well, what if the seat is too far close to the tunnel? I actually kept the tunnel I still have the tunnel, even though you guys don't see it here. I still have it. So let me back it up. I'll go ahead and put the tunnel in there so you guys can see that it won't be hitting. As you guys see, that's the tunnel right there. And that's about where the seat was already sitting at. Actually, YouTube, I forgot one more thing. We need to make sure the seat is not turned. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it back in. I just thought about that. So we're just gonna tighten it, snug it up a little bit. I still need to be able to turn the seat. There we go. I had it just like that, which I feel like that's dead on. I mean, I could take measurements from the firewall to the front of the seat. Actually, what we're gonna do is from the floor. Over here, 18 and a quarter. And over here, a little bit out. Okay, so there we go. So 18 and 3/4. 18 and 3/4. So I was off a little bit. So we're going to take some acetone and wipe that mark that I made off. And we're going to redo it. All right. I'm going to have to do some more measuring to get the seat back where I had it, where it was even. I'm going to go ahead and mark it again. All right, so we drilled it out. Go ahead and put this back on. I need to get another bolt. All right, YouTube, so there we have it. The seat is mounted in there. We still need to just go ahead and make that mount right there. So my plan is, like how I did the driver's seat, I just went ahead and mounted. I mounted that one first. And then I seen where this needed to go. And I'll bring you guys in to see that, but I'll go ahead and mount this first. I'm gonna put some more wells on the back two mounts because I don't want for it to pop off. So we're going to do that now. We're going to go ahead and weld these pretty solid, and then we'll get the front put on. All right, YouTube. So as you can see from the last video, we went ahead and got the seat mounted. So you have the two bottom mounts already in there. So the only thing we have to do now is go ahead and make this front mount and make the bar that goes across to connect in between the two-way and the frame. So we're gonna work on that now. We're gonna work on getting that mount done, and then the seat will be done and mounted. All right, YouTube. So where we left off at was making this seat mount right here. So this is the front seat mount. We still need to make the bar that go across here first before we ever notch this here. So that's what I'm going to do now. We're going to get an idea of where this needs to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and put my 90 from here. And then on this end, I'll start making that, but I'm just going to keep slowly cutting it back until it get to line up with this bar right here. And then we're going to add some pressure on the seat to tilt back. So we're going to end up notching this so that it'll push up on the seat a little bit. All right, YouTube. So like I was saying, we're going to begin with the first notch, which is going to be 1 5/8 in a 90-degree notch. So it'll be here. So we're going to start on this end. I know this tube is too long for that section, but that's just how I started off. I just do this one here, then I go test it, then I do this side. All right, YouTube. So this is the section that I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and put this here. Like I was saying, we're going to go ahead and put this here, but as you see, it's already too long. So I'm just going to cut this off about right there, just so that I can go ahead and get it to sit down. But the fitment on this 1 5/8 is good. As you can see here, there's no gaps all the way around. So like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down. I'm probably just going to take off this much here, and that's it. All right, YouTube, as you see, we made it shorter. I probably need to go a little bit more shorter for in here. So this time we're going to mark it so that we know how short I need to cut it. All right, YouTube. So we went ahead and cut it down, and we see how far we need to go with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out the degree that I need to cut this, because essentially how you got to look at it as the whole saw has to come through like that. I have to find a degree that this is, which I could go off of this is 90, and then this here, so this should be a 45/45, but I gotta keep inching it back from here, and then we keep inching it back this way until I get to above where the seat's gonna mount. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna put the seat back in, and then we're gonna figure out how far back does this bar need to go? All right, YouTube. So as you can see, the bar is about here. So I have to be about here in order for it to work out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what degree this will be. Um, I'm thinking it may be a 45, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off of this bar here, then go down this way. So what I'm getting on here is 50 degrees. So I might just go ahead and make the notch. I guess I'll start with a 40-degree notch on the tube. All right, YouTube, as you can see, we got the 45-degree. That's the 90. So the 45 is supposed to be in here like that because the tube passed through like that. So we're going to see how that works out. All right, YouTube. So as you can see, we have it in there, but we have to move back a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is the easiest thing to do is I'm just going to work on a 90-degree notch with my drum sander here because this actually is an 1.5 inch die grinder. I mean sanding drum, but it'll make this open up more and more the more I keep working on it. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to work on cleaning this up to make it shorter and shorter so it can fit up under here. Only got to go a little bit and then we'll be good. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go over there and notch this. Like I always tell you guys, I always go a little bit under where I marked it because I could just work on it and get it to back up more and more. Like I said, you could always take off more, but you can't add any. All right, YouTube, we already have this notched. Just gonna screw it back up in there. And then we're gonna move this in here. And like I said, we still have some room to work on this here because it needs to come back some more. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on this until I could slide it up under here. All right, YouTube. So as you can see here, we have it on there. All we have to do is just clean up the tubes and then we'll go ahead and tack that on, and then we'll go ahead and set the seat. All right, YouTube. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this tacked in. So I'm just gonna hold it for now, push the seat down, and I'm gonna go ahead and tack it in there. All right, YouTube. So as you can see here, we have the passenger seat in. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put the cover on it so I can show you guys better. All right. So like I was saying, we have the passenger seat in here. I like the fitment. We're gonna see how it looks even better with the when we get the main hoop in here. But so far, it's pretty good. As you see here, nice and comfortable. It's not too close to the door panel or anything like that. Be able to, for the down bars will be able to go here.